look, I'm beside the beautiful Stephanie Henry for the first time in a year.
I know, it's been so long.
It's so good to see you, Steph. Okay,
So
today
good to
we're
see
talking
you.
about this. Your bumper friends might know this story all too well. You're driving along. We're driving along,
Driving.
Steph. Minding your own business.
Yep.
And an animal darts across the road right in front of you, causing to either slam on the brakes or swerve to avoid a collision, which brings us to this. What is driving you wild? And it's literally the wild
Yeah,
stuff.
Dee.
It's scary.
What have you seen behind the wheel?
Skunks, raccoons, and squirrels.
And squirrels. Squirrels, I feel like, are real quick. Like,
They're
you know, they
quick.
get out of the
Oh, and
way real quick.
pigeons.
And pigeons, too. But for me, it's been geese, raccoons, skunks, all the time, especially driving. Yeah. Well, the geese are, you can see them. You see them on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and then you kind of slow down, and then they step off, and then you just got to wait while they make their way across.
If it's like a deer or a moose, it could do major
It
damage
could
to
do
you and the animal.
major damage,
Yeah.
Dee. And you know what? Thousands of drivers every single year get into collisions with wildlife. And, you know, thousands of animals actually get injured. Hundreds of Ontario drivers get injured after these collisions. So that brings me to the question, literally, why are these animals crossing the road? Why is it always during the same time? And you know what's going on here, and what should you do if you actually come face? Should you stop suddenly or swerve? So I talked to some experts. Let's take a look.
Oh my God.
If it seems like run-ins with medium-sized animals while you're behind the wheel happens all too often and always around the same time of the year, wildlife expert Julian Victor says you're not mistaken.
The birthing season generally begins as early as March and ends as late as July, but the peak is usually May and June. So we're now kind of in the thick of it now, where like the babies are starting to be more visible now, so the parents are going to be much more active, crossing to go traveling a lot more frequently to get food.
Every year, hundreds of Ontario drivers are injured and thousands of animals are injured or killed in wildlife collisions. Emma Horgan from Ontario Nature says that vehicle collisions are one of the biggest threats to urban wildlife.
It is estimated that there are 14,000 vehicle collisions with wildlife each year in Ontario. So that's just a statistic for Ontario alone. Of these 14,000 collisions, this accounts for up to 10% of all vehicle collisions that occur within the province.
One animal significantly affected this time of the year, turtles. One of the reasons being it just takes them much longer to cross the road.
If it is safe to move the turtle off the road, you can place your hands on the underside and the top side of the shell and, you know, grab the turtle and walk it across to the other side of the road that it's traveling to and let it go.
To avoid injuring yourself and animals on the roadway, you probably shouldn't do this. This is a scene from the 427 about a month ago where drivers tried to box in a family of geese on the shoulder. If you see an animal on the highway, it's best to call 311. Otherwise, CAA has these tips. Be vigilant. Have your passenger be on the lookout for signs of wildlife when visibility is low. Slow down and come to a controlled stop if it's safe. Stopping suddenly can cause you to lose control of your vehicle. And if you don't have time to stop, don't swerve, as you can injure yourself or others. The only exception to this rule is if you're facing a moose.
Totally. Man, good advice, Steph. So what if you see an injured animal on the side of the road or somewhere?
Yeah, so when I was talking to Emma, she mentioned that it's really important to call somebody, because the animal might be injured. It may look deceased, but it might be carrying babies, and they could still save the babies. So I do have a couple of resources that you could check out, including Shades of Hope Wildlife Refuge. The number 705-427-4654, or you can go to shadesofhope.ca. You can save that number in your phone, or you can go to Mally's Third Chance Raccoon Rescue and Rehab Sanctuary, mally'sthirdchance.ca. And if there is an active situation, always call 311, because they can direct your call, especially if you're on the highway. That is the place that you really don't want to stop to try to help animals, because you could really honestly cause a serious collision with multiple people. So you don't want to do that.
Life-saving info for the animals and us. Thank you so much, as always. That was amazing, and good to see you, Steph. We'll be back with more BT Friends coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Longtime comedian and first-time papa Steve Patterson will join us to unravel the mysteries and hilarities of being a dad.